You ready, buddy?
Yes.
All right. No, I see ya.
It's louder.
Okay, the Mustang dash installed. It was not too tough. The length on the dash itself going forward had to be cut off a couple inches. Other than that, it does bolt in right up here at the dash area. The only other issue I had was fitting this in, since I left this portion right here of the Maverick, and this bracket right here was a pain where I had to actually bend it out, slide it in, and then bend it back. Otherwise it would not fit. I didn't want to actually cut the bracket off or the Maverick anymore than I had to. And then the other thing was right here. This is about a 1/2 inch of foam. I have the leather piece that I cut off and just took the foam off, and I can glue that right back on. Just not ready yet, but with that taken off, there's no rubbing. Also, every single build I see online, the wiper handle is always in the way. So it has to go to electric, or we'll find out maybe an alternative way. But at this point, door shuts nice and easily. The fender, this is the Maverick fender and the Mustang, and I had to do the flare in order for the tire to fit. If we go underneath, you can see now that the fender is bolted to the frame there, and of course for the Maverick it is bolted here, and then I made some brackets. Gets over here, and one right over here.
I see you.
The bottom valance over here was not going to go up any further. and I didn't want to cut the radiator frame.
Fire.
Yeah, you do that. I'm very amateur at building as far as making components. Just like the flare was my very first one, but I did make these extenders, right? I just had some extra metal stock and I bent it. Now this fender is really bent. I mean, it is way out of shape, but putting this in, you know, extended that bottom valance down. And I'll get to the front when I get to it, but I wanted to at least get this bolted in. Now there's going to be some little gaps because everything is not lining up, which is okay at this moment. Something I didn't realize when I built this, that it does come up at an angle, so that's something I can work on in the future. I just did that yesterday. You know, every day I'm out here doing something. Of course, I just painted this and scratched it. You know, the doors are, everything is pretty in rough shape, you know, doors to fenders. But we do have the side skirts for the Mustang on here. As far as this back piece, I haven't gotten to that yet. It's something I'm going to be working on, but I think I'm going to do another scoop somehow to tie this in, right? Because if we look over here, you know, my body work needs, I need more work on my body work skills, but as far as this, you know, I've got it sort of angled in, and then this will be cleaned up, bondoed, painted. So the same idea coming over here, you know, have a plate in here, build it up, and then just something simple. You know, at the very end, once it's all built up, then I can really focus on cleaning up the frame, the outside body. All right, as far as the wheel wells, we have Mustang, and then part of the outer Mustang, and then it's welded to the Maverick, and then seam sealed on both sides. Also, you know, I wanted to obviously incorporate the Maverick going to the wheel well, just like it was with the original. And I have, you know, some of these pieces that, you know, I'm have to sort of cut and put in. And this plate right here, you know, I had to put that in because we did have a gap right there. I wasn't able to use the Maverick portion. And then the gas tank, you know, comes in this way, but what I'm going to do is cut when I get to that portion and bring it over here and have it come back out. You know, it'll be a length, but I've got some good ideas. If I can find the Maverick fill and then work on that. Gas tank was really easy to put back in. Even this charcoal canister, I think that's what that is, just barely fit under there. So I was very happy. Yes, sir, you can hold that. Again, just trying to get Maverick and Mustang stuff sort of blended together You know, all that's going to be covered, but it's just more support, right? I could have left these brackets out right here, but I didn't want to on both sides. You know, the seat belt's going to come here, and then the cover's going to go over, which there's going to be some work on forming the Mustang panels in order to fit. There's just a few little complications. I have all the seats and all the interior. Now the roof area I have to clean up. I got to do that before I think about putting windows back in, and of course I still have a lot of rust. My main goal was just to get the body on top. You know, if this was a perfect car, there would be so much less work on cleaning up rust. One thing I did with the fenders, which this was tough, but the fender, if I left it original the way it was supposed to be, it would have been up a couple more inches. It probably would have been up probably about right here, right? But I needed to get it as low as possible. So I had the fender tilted, and then when you do that, the bottom would have been overlapping the door. So I knew I had to sort of cut and form each fender. But the goal was to get the front as low as possible. You know, even though I tilted it, you know, I still had, it's about 2-inch gap right there for the bottom valance. The hood is just laying there. I've got a couple brackets holding the fender in at this moment, and the hood where the windshield wiper motor is had to be notched out. Other than that, the hood fits, but I was not able to put the hinges in there. The hinges were actually too big. So again, I'm throwing around ideas. My main goal was to use as much of the Mustang for the Maverick as possible. But with all that, it runs, it drives. We've got updated suspension compared to what the original was, and I still have a lot of work to do. I mean, even with this trunk, you know, I've got a lot of rust, and I'm eager to clean it up and be done welding. I hope you like it. So far, everything's going pretty good. I mean, simple, but difficult at the same time. If you guys have any questions, please reach out. I've been posting a lot of stuff on, there's a couple Maverick pages on Facebook. It's just easier for me to put pictures up, and you know, pictures do explain a lot, but to sit here and actually do a good walk around to let you know what I had to do in order to get some of this stuff to fit and look good. In the previous video, I was talking about how the fender was just about to touch the tire, right? So that's why I had to do the flare. And what I'll do is I'll post a couple pictures of the work I had to do. But it's different, it's cool, and I got some scoops, and it overall blends in pretty well. So if you guys ever plan on doing this, I've got some tips You know, I think every build is going to be a little bit different, but overall it fits. And you know, I spent $500 on a Mustang, $600 on the Maverick, and just cut off discs and some paint and a lot of welding. That is my big expenses. It's all time. I didn't really spend too much money on this yet. So thank you very much, and I hope you guys enjoy.